there's long been plans to restructure the en route systems for aircraft, the highways in the sky, if you want to look at it that way. GPS has been something that I remember back in 1995, I think the FAA said that all approaches will be GPS by 2002. Well, here we are 23 years later than that, and still yet to come. And you hear about some problems that have resulted just recently. I think that, there's going to be a push now, a very strong push to maybe, reinvent the way that our air traffic system works, and that will be good. There's no question about it. The other thing that you should watch for in this industry is the growth of the eVTOL world, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. These things are starting to proliferate. I think that before long, they'll start to get certified. And when it comes to, very crowded corridors that are over short distances, I think these things become a very important part of the air transportation system going forward. It doesn't replace the traditional aircraft, especially on long haul, but it really will change the way the sort of last mile and first mile travel happens.
When I think about my members and the largest issue kind of keeping them up at night right now, it's got to be the economy and just some uncertainty there. We've been in a freight recession from a trucking perspective for the past couple of years, and we're starting to see some green shoots come out of that. We're not seeing a full pasture full of produce yet, but we're starting to see some positive markers. And now there's obviously some uncertainty as well when you think economy with the T word that's going around, tariffs, and what that means for the industry and the larger supply chain. So I would say that's the number one issue that's keeping my members up at night right now.
One of the things I'm really excited to see happening in the railroad industry is continued work around telematics. There's an industry group now called Rail Pulse, which involves most of the major operating railroads. And what all that technology does is it provides a much greater resolution of information around shipments. And so it starts to make the carload rail network a viable alternative for moving freight. The information is much less opaque than it's been in the past. And I think that could make a difference for at least providing choices for moving commodities over the rail system.
Yeah, in my opinion, probably this is coming from the artificial intelligence and this connected to the connected vehicles or autonomous vehicles. And probably this is something that we will see in the future. And in my opinion, this will have an impact on how cities and how transportation infrastructure is planning. We as operators, probably we will in the future we will see that we need to make this happen and collaborate on how these connected vehicles are connected also to the infrastructure. I think this is something that is coming in the future, and we are very excited about that one.
We released our 5-year strategic plan right in 2021, and part of that plan was to remain diversified, invest equally between our two ports. Morehead City is a general cargo facility. Wilmington handles containers and general cargo. And we've seen the cycles when container volumes are down, when there's stress in that system, general cargo tends to be up. The home building goods that we handle, we've seen some peaks over the last number of years. So the cycles that impact one or the other have really been able to allowed us to balance out our performance over the last number of years and continue to invest.
We've got to continue funding, transportation, realizing that it is a essential part of not only our economy, but people use transportation to get to healthcare. They use it to get to education, to entertainment, to see their loved ones, as well as to get to work and back. And so making sure that funding is adequate and that we're doing the planning for the future, which I feel we are doing a good job with that in terms of where additional capacity is needed or where we can employ new technologies. I think all those things, and then continuing to fund the projects that we've worked with our local communities to determine what's really needed. And the comment earlier about the success of the P3 program with the managed lanes in Charlotte, we view that as incredibly successful as well, and are always looking to do more projects like that.